We're going to switch gears a little bit now and move a bit from the didactic, although I think I hesitate to even say that. And we're going to move and share stories now with two of our melanoma survivors, friends and colleagues at MD Anderson, who want to thank on behalf of all of us for taking time out of your days this morning to share some of your stories, and then we'll invite you up to the podium as well to participate in our panel discussion. So we'll start with Colleen Witosh, who will share her story for a few moments, and then Randy Jones to follow, and then we'll dive right into a panel discussion. Thanks very
much. Okay. Can you guys hear me? See me? My name is Colleen Witosh, and almost 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic melanoma of the brain. So being diagnosed with that, first is you think the brain, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? My first thought was, after I had surgery, and my family is here who got me into some great positions to look at the start of what I needed to do. I took myself and wanted to be treated at MD Anderson. I knew a lot about MD Anderson. I was a volunteer here for 14 years and knew if I was going to go somewhere, this is where I was going to go. So my initial appointment with Dr. Maria in the melanoma clinic, my choices were given to me, starting with a phase 1 clinical trial, and then I had 4 other steps that I could take, but I knew, I guess inside for me, the best choice I thought for an outcome would be that clinical trial phase 1. And when we got the okay, and I was had the I guess the protocol for the clinical trial, we started that. And I started like what Dr. Wong came out with this morning. I was with, I'm not going to say the medical side, but Opdivio and Yervoy were the 2 that I started out with for the first 4 months. And the side effects with the 2 chemicals at the first, it was rough. I had massive rashes all over the body. You had headaches, but it was something I knew, and something that each time that you had the treatment or you went in, even if it was a setback, I always looked at it as there was another step to go forward in. And with these type of treatments and the staff that I had, being very open and working well with the staff and your family, telling them what's happening, what's going on, even if it's a little thing to you, it may not be a little thing to them. It may be something that they need to hear. So on the 4th month, I was able just to go down to 1 medicine, Opdivio, and I go to the CTRC, and this was twice a month, every 2 weeks for 2 years. And the side effects are like they're saying, fatigue, you're tired, your body aches. And sometimes you have to listen to your body. If it's a good day, great. I was able to go out, have a normal life. I was able to do the things I like to do. I like to paint, I like to go to events, I work with people. And then there are days you have to literally stop and say, I need to stay at home, take care of myself, take care of my body, get it back to where it needs to be. And I never missed 1 treatment. And for 2 years, twice a month, and my last one's April 17th of this.
Thanks so much. Randy, would you like to join us now?
Good morning. Everybody hear me good? Honored to be here. It's a pleasure to be a partner with MD Anderson and AIM. I've done quite a few of these, so I probably don't need this piece of paper, but the minute Nazi over here, I know I got to move fast. I could stand up here all day and tell my story, just because I've been going through melanoma for over 7 years now. Originally started on my abdomen and had a first surgery and a sentinel lymph node removed. Sentinel lymph node was positive. After that recovery and that surgery is when I came to MD Anderson, and actually got a Facebook memory from 7 years ago on March 30th when my main man over here, Dr. G, performed a groin dissection on my right leg, removing 22 lymph nodes, tissue. So out of that surgery, I had one positive lymph node. And my only really option from there was to be on, I can't remember the name of the drug, but we opted not to do that. And I was clean for about 4 years. Actually, on January 5th of 2015 is when I actually was here for an appointment with Dr. Gershenwald. It was the one time that I didn't do scans just because we weren't tracking anything. And Dr. Gershenwald was like, hey, after this next scan, if it's all clear, he goes, we're just going to scan you every other time. So being twice a year, 6 months, I came here for an appointment, blood work, chest x-ray, all the above, but no scans. Drove home that day, and I urinated blood that evening when I got home into San Antonio. So the next morning, I'm in the doctor's office in San Antonio having scans done, and they found melanoma in my right kidney. And then that's when I came back to Emerson. Further scans down the road, down that week, they found another one near my left kidney. So I started a clinical trial to begin with. It was a combination of an immunotherapy, I believe they call it IPI, and chemotherapy. After eight or 9 weeks, that trial had failed, and everything had progressed, and they found one on my brain as well. So that was in 2015. So I'm thankful for the excitement of what's going on here, and for these gentlemen, the passion that they have to have options. I was very blessed that I had a plan B. So after that clinical trial failed, I got on a Taflonar and a Mechanis, which is an oral pill that I would take, and I was like, oh, that's the easiest thing in the world, just to have to take a pill. And let it be known that I never felt sick through all of this until I started those pills. And it was, you think of the flu times 10. That's how I felt. I was sicker than sick. So luckily, I was able to regulate the dose, and I got to where I could tolerate it. And it worked. It started working, and everything started shrinking. So then I decided to have gamma knife radiation on my brain. I also had a cryoablation on the tumor near my left kidney, and then I had the removal of the one in my right kidney. So, and then after about a year of being on the pills, I started on Keytruda, and actually finished. I was on Keytruda for 2.5 years. So however many doses that is, I lost count. But I finished my last treatment in October of last year, and I remain disease-free, and I'm healthy, and I feel great, and I got 3 young daughters that I gotta fight for. So honored to be here, and honored to answer any questions that you may have as well. But I'm definitely a guinea pig for everything that they talked about here today, the lymphedema, all that. So I've been through all of it. So ask me all the questions you need to ask. Thank you.